Inside Melbourne, episode 13. Clint Stanaway with you. No Jack Viney, though, this week. He's MIA, unfortunately. So Ben Gibson has been kind enough to step in. Are you feeling okay about this, Benny?
Yeah, I
don't
think I've ever been compared to Jack Viney before, but latest of late inclusions. And
the frame is a little different, I must say. But you got some good questions for these special guests.
See how we go.
Do you want to introduce them? You've got the honour.
Yeah, first up, a fellow debutant to the podcast, Kyle Dunkley. Welcome, Kyle.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Maybe 15 minutes late. What have you been up to?
Nah, I was just sitting down in a meeting.
There you go.
Lucky, so sorry about that, fellas.
Hasn't set a good standard just yet.
And Clayton Oliver's here too. Clary, is there a fine involved being late for the podcast?
Oh, I just wouldn't mind a heads up. I've been walking around for 20 minutes trying to find him. I thought we said 1 o'clock and it's 1:15, but that's all right. Maybe next time.
These things, you can get lost around the traps being a new player.
Yeah.
Well, newish anyway.
Yeah, use that for a couple of weeks. Might wear off.
Hey boys, great to have you on, Kyle. Welcome to the club. We're going to hear more from you very shortly. First, I want to start with you, Clary. Just a little bit of a review from the weekend. Obviously, a trip to the Gabba. Geez, it was tough. It was disappointing in that second half. What do you take from that match?
Yeah, just a disappointing game from probably everyone involved. We didn't bring our A game, and Brisbane did, and they beat us around the ball, which was our strength. And yeah, we just let them beat them there, and hopefully next week we back to that. We'll train hard and get back to our best.
Are you frustrated right now?
Yeah, a little bit. I think everyone is. Everyone's a bit frustrated. Not winning, it's not really great, but we still got a good vibes around the club.
Yeah.
Just it's a little bit of frustration.
Yeah, it's easy to happen, creep in.
How do you enjoy the battle up against some pretty good Brisbane midfielders, Zorko, Neil, right amongst it?
Yeah, it was a good battle. They obviously got on top of us, which was unfortunate. But next time we play them, we'll bring our best and go head to head against them again.
Kyle, mate, it's been a big month or so for you.
Yeah, it's been a pretty big couple of weeks or a month, I suppose now. But it's been good. I'm loving it. It's always what I've wanted to do. So yeah, as I said, like nothing sort of been anything out that I haven't really enjoyed as yet. But yeah, no, it's been awesome.
You first get to the Casey Demons and play under Jade Rawlings. Now another coaching swap, and you got Sam Radford. How many coaches have you had this year?
After that, probably 4, I reckon. Yeah, about 4 or 5 nearly.
And you enjoying your time down at Casey?
Yeah, it's good fun. All the boys are really good, and obviously a new coach now, which was a bit different for the first game, I suppose. But it's good for Sammy coming in, getting two good wins, and yeah, everyone's sort of really positive at the moment, and I suppose in contention for finals. So
you seem to have settled in really well personally. Another 17 touches and a goal on the weekend. Are you comfortable with your own form? Yeah,
pretty comfortable. There's always room for improvement. I suppose like I'm doing a lot of work behind the scenes with a few coaches on contested stuff and things like that, trying to take my game to the next level. But yeah, there's a lot of things to work on, but it's not too bad coming into a new team.
Is it nice to have someone like Kyle around the club, Clayton? Just someone fresh blood.
Yeah, no, he's fit in real well. All the boys getting around him. He's fit in. He's been like, I feel like he's been there with all the other first years, so it's been good.
It must be a strange one coming into a set club midway through the season. Did you find it a bit awkward at first at all, or just settling in initially?
I probably would have been a little bit awkward to start off with, but I was lucky enough to go to school and actually be in the same boarding house as 2 of the boys, so Toby and Charlie Spargo as well. So coming in, seeing those boys, like pretty familiar faces, I suppose, helped me a lot. So yeah, having those 2 there was pretty good, but outside of that, didn't really know too many others.
And it's not too common to switch teams midway through the season, but in 2 weeks you're going to come up against Footscray in the VFL. How do you think that'll be, playing against some teammates from a couple of weeks ago? Yeah,
no, it'll be good fun. Obviously, still have those relationships with those boys, and as you know yourself, sort of you get out there, do your job, and then after the game you catch up, have a chat, and see what's going on. But it's something I look forward to, and yeah, we'll just have to wait and see.
Might get a role in the seniors. Might play against his brother.
That would be great to watch his brother.
Chances of that?
Oh, I've got no idea. We'll have to wait and see.
Mate, you got to push your case.
It'd be nice.
Yeah,
it'd be nice,
put your name up in lights.
Yeah,
take it to Josh.
Trying.
You got him covered.
It'd be pretty funny. Be probably heated in the car on the way there or something. But no, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, a bit of polish in the Dunkley family. We'll get to that pretty shortly. But it actually bothers me, frustrates me how sort of good at sport they are.
Yeah, there's a bit of talent in the family, from the old man to the brother to the sister.
Yeah.
Who's used to win the backyard battles?
Oh, I think it was pretty even. But Lara was bigger than us too, so she probably won them because she probably got the most aggressive as well. And then Dad and Mum would have looked after her. So I'd say her, but yeah, it used to be pretty full on in the backyard.
Non-contact sport, netball. It's meant to be anyway.
Yeah, she's built pretty solid, so she handles it quite well.
Now, we're actually quite lucky to have Clary on the podcast because it's a afternoon session. We heard he wouldn't rock up for a 7 a.m. start. Do you like your sleep-ins, Clary?
I do like my sleep-ins. I didn't want to be waking up at 5:30 to be here whenever. So, yeah, afternoon much better for me.
What's the current housing situation with you? Who are you living with?
Still with Gus, Anders and Dion, who was at Melbourne last year.
Still unruly household?
As in too many people in there?
Well, just, a lot
busy.
of diverse characters in there, isn't there?
Yeah, it's too busy. I sit in my room. I don't expect anyone. Come out and eat and then head straight back in there.
And you
Gussie's about the same.
Spend a fair bit of time on the old FIFA. We've heard about that. Is it a real challenge for you to keep improving on the Xbox, PlayStation, whatever that?
Yeah, I haven't really been playing FIFA too much. We've got a 2K my league at the moment, so there's like a few of the boys. Like Weedo started up with Petty and Cade Chandler. They did like you sort of make your own team, and then there's like a whole league of other boys and Hibbo and Track. There's heaps of boys who got involved. And we've been playing that a fair bit, so we versus each other in a 29-game series.
So you get home after a day's work here. I mean, you must be knackered after a big day here. What else do you do outside of life at the footy club? Is it just sleeping and eating and PlayStation?
Get home, make a bit of food, PlayStation. I'm gonna have hit a golf today, but we're gonna see the accountant just hopefully looking to buy a house soon. So
investment time.
Trying to find something to buy. I don't know. You see what he says, and I'll do that.
You got a few roommates at the moment. Would any of them come along with you, or you can?
Not a chance. Not a chance. I'll be moving out.
Shut up, shop.
By myself, and my missus, and I've been in a share house for long enough now. I think it's time to find my own house.
Got some good questions from the outer. We'll get to them very, very shortly. But Kyle, there is one here from Josh. He asks, "Have you changed from a country boy to a city boy now?"
Have I?
Yeah.
Nah, still country boy at heart. Yeah. Definitely.
Is in your brother, Josh. That's from your brother.
Yeah. He's a big city boy going around. Big time. He was far out. I can't believe that's come from him.
Tell us about the Kyle Dunkley story in terms of your junior footy and the rest.
Yeah, so pretty much ever since Dad finished playing, we grew up in Yarram, so a little town in Gippsland. Dad started a little junior club down there where actually all three of us played sort of under 10s and 12s and even 14s together. And then outside of that, it was sort of up in Sale. So for high school, we all went up there and went to Gippsland Grammar through the high school up there. So Josh sort of played a bit of senior footy up there, and I was there in under 16s. And then I think it was about year 10, so sort of started playing seniors then at Sale. And then, after that was lucky enough to get a scholarship at Melbourne Grammar. So moved down to Melbourne, was boarding, which was a whole another story, I suppose, and sort of was a bit hard to get used to for the first few weeks, but after that, sort of fitted in with friendship groups and stuff like that, and the school footy season started. So I was mainly playing school footy, and then actually decided to have my bottom age year off TAC Cup. And then after that, I sort of thought, like, the other main reason I moved to Melbourne was trying to eliminate travel. So I thought maybe making a move to whether it was Oakley or Sandringham to try and play for one of them might be a bit easier as well with travel. So I decided to go to Oakley and played a little bit there throughout my top age year. Injuries and stuff didn't help, didn't play that much footy. Finished off the year with school footy. And then, so after obviously missing out on the draft last year, I sort of decided the following Monday night I was out at Footscray training with the VFL. So after all that disappointment, I sort of just tried to get back to it and sort of forget about what had happened, I suppose. So over pre-season was mainly with Footscray at the VFL, and then played a bit as a 19-year-old back at Gippsland at the start of this year, and a little bit VFL, and then ended up here. So it's been pretty big, I suppose.
Coming from such a strong sporting family, did you feel that pressure to make it to the top level?
I wouldn't say pressure, not so much. Like, everyone in the family was always supporting, and whether I was to get there or not was sort of probably just a thing, I suppose. So having that support really helped me, and luckily enough, I was able to get there, so it's good.
And have you been called Josh a fair bit throughout your time?
Yeah, I cop it all the time. I think now I'm actually pretty used to it, so I don't really care too much about it anymore.
I'd love to see you get out there in a couple of weeks. It'd be very good.
Brother on brother rivalry.
It'd be
We saw
great.
that with the Brayshaw brothers a couple of weeks
And
ago.
you'd take him to town. I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
Hey, Clary, I want to take you back again just to you've got to talk about the Gabba. Just one moment with Frosty and Maisie. Can you sit back and have a bit of a laugh about it now?
Yeah, it doesn't really faze any of us. It's good to see that they're sort of passionate about the game and they sort of want to win. So it's good to see them not really having to go at each other, but
It sort of speaks to Stephen May's leadership as well, does it not?
yeah, and Frosty as well.
Yeah.
Frosty speaking back to him and said his point of view of what happened, and yeah, May as well. I love seeing it, so it's good. They're showing a bit of passion towards the game.
You mentioned the frustration before. Obviously, Carlton this week. It is, by the way, a member replacement game, so we'd love to see as much red and blue in the stands as possible. They're coming off the back of a bit of a win, Clary.
Win.
They'll be full of confidence.
Yeah, definitely. They've had a couple of wins now, so they're new coach and they're playing pretty well. But Freo over and Freo, so be a tough matchup to bring our best.
Do you watch much footy? Do you scout the opposition?
Nah, I don't watch it at all. I hardly even watch it. Or just check the scores, but I never watch a game or anything.
So when you go into a game like this, if someone like Paddy Cripps was to play, do you do much research on those sort of blokes?
Yeah, we do. We get like education throughout the whole week of like how the game plan is, and we watch all that. But yeah, sort of not my own time. I wouldn't go watch a game for leisure.
Cripps won't play, will he?
I reckon
No.
we would be hoping not.
I hope not, but you probably get up. You'll probably be fine.
Hey guys, off to a great start. With thanks to Zurich Inside Melbourne, episode 13. We're going to head into the outer after this very short break.
Thanks to our co-major partner and podcast sponsor Zurich. For over 100 years, they've been ensuring the people and things you truly love. And just like you, they truly love footy and truly love Melbourne.
Welcome back to Inside Melbourne, proudly brought to you by Zurich. We are heading into questions from the outer with Clary and Kyle. We're going to kick it off with a question from a young fan, Clary. Ollie wants to know how you get good at footy from a young age.
I don't know. Probably just enjoy yourself. If you're that young, you just want to go out there and as a junior, you were just playing with your mates. I remember just growing up, you always want to play with your best mates and just enjoyed footy. It was just sort of thing you got to do for a bit of fun every weekend. You were looking forward to just enjoying it.
Is it all you wanted to do growing up? Play
Yeah,
footy?
it's about that.
Was there anything else on the radar?
Not really. Played a bit of other sports, but they don't really interest me too much. I was pretty focused on footy from all I can remember.
Were you sort of dominant junior-wise?
Not really. I was like younger, but probably after like start of high school wasn't really too great. I was sort of average football and
Still dishing off the handballs though at junior level?
I used to be real skinny back then, so I was real fit. I've just completely changed. Got a bit thicker now and not as fit, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I used to be like a little rake and I was running around everywhere on the outside, just be a little ferret.
What age did the belly start to grow a little?
I was about 16. I got osteoarthritis pubis, and I didn't run for about 12, 18 months. So I didn't play any footy, and I blew up. I was about 25 kilos, and
I think I've had osteitis pubis for a while now. I'm in strife.
Do you still enjoy your hunky dories?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, we hadn't gone for a while, but yeah, went the other night. It was,
Jesus, good.
yes.
One of the great go-tos.
Oh yeah, it's unbelievable.
What does he go to? Are you allowed to have it?
Salt pepper calamari.
You allowed a cheeky potato cake every now and then or not?
No, I get sweet potato wedges.
Oh yeah,
unbelievable.
Good compromise.
What's your go-to, Kyle?
I think there's like I don't know what it is, but you get the salad and stuff on the side. It's like a little,
like a seafood pack.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like quinoa salad or something. I don't know. It's pretty good. It's not bad.
Quinoa, sorry mate. a little bit bloody highbrow.
Nah, it's pretty good. They make it good. It's a good brew.
Do you pull your weight around the home, by the way? I spoke to Lara this morning and she was telling me that she had to vacuum your room the other day.
Yeah, she did. It's probably the first time in 12 months that she's actually done it. Every time I vacuum, it's always, right up to her.
So you live with Josh and Lara?
Josh and Lara, yeah. So,
How's the setup?
yeah, it's pretty good setup. We've all got our own room.
That helps.
Josh.
No bunk beds anymore.
No beds. Josh does most of the cooking. He's pretty good at it.
Yeah, he rates himself, doesn't
He
he?
does rate himself with it, big time. Lara tries to claim that she'll do the cleaning, like saying she vacuumed my room and stuff, but no chance.
She was quick to slip that one in, actually.
In the house.
When I asked for some questions, she goes, "Oh, Yeah, he did vacuum my room the other day. Couldn't believe it. Hey, Paulie, off the Twitter, I believe, asked, why did no one know about your cross-country background before being drafted, Clary? You're a big cross-country runner.
Yeah, back in like grade 5, grade 6 I was.
Yeah?
Did a fair bit of running.
Still enjoy running?
Oh, no. Not as much as I was back then. It was a little bit easy back then.
I was going to say, unless you have to do it, it's terribly overrated in my books.
And Clary, the hair situation's been a big talking point. The Coop wants to know, what's the go? What's the deal?
No, not much really. Just whatever Salo does.
We've spoken about this. So Salo,
Interstate trip, brings the clippers and a little bit of a tidy up in there. Easy as.
is there a bit of a scale? Because some of them, I mean, I'll be honest, looking from afar, some of them are real decent. Others are just very ordinary.
I think it's just what you ask for and what Salo can deliver. So if it's his forte, he can do it. But if you ask for something different, he's probably not too good at it. He's not that experienced.
Is he no stress kind of operator, or does he get a bit bit shaky with the clippers?
He takes his time. He's like a proper haircut. Like he gets real in there and
any decent chat. You know when you go to the hairdresser and you have a good chat to the barber.
Yeah, he's always good chat.
He's good chat.
Okay.
Do
Sales.
you reckon you could go with the sailor haircut, or are you happy with how you're going, Carl?
You just
Probably
spun the wheel for shaving the pill.
Or actually, apparently got to shave the pill. So
Really?
Right. Might give Sailor the call up. Get the clippers out.
This is good for you, Kyle, because being fresh blood, you can probably answer this better than anyone. Who is the funniest player around the traps?
it's probably a few. Track's pretty good. I reckon he's probably the number one.
But he's a bit random too, isn't he?
He's a bit random, but I think that's what makes it better. He just says some weird stuff. It's good.
Easily the funniest. So stupid.
I was going to say, is it that sort of like...
Sometimes, most times with him, but every now and again, you just laugh at him. It's hilarious.
Now, Carl, Tommy wants to know, how often did you study? Fresh out of VCE, how'd you go?
No, I was not too bad. I was probably average amongst everyone, but actually, no, I probably wasn't average at Melbourne Grammar because it was pretty high. But no, I was pretty satisfied with how I went. I think amongst my friendship group as well, there's a few boys that obviously stood out who did a lot and doing some pretty impressive things at the moment. But yeah, I wasn't too bad. So I had obviously studied every now and then what I could outside of footy.
There's a few smart boys at the club, Oscar and Tommy McDonald, Gus Brayshaw. How do you go, Clary?
Me?
Yeah.
Nah, not too well. It's pretty average. Just, I don't really have too much interest in school. Probably should have. Mum always said to focus on it, but I didn't really enjoy it at all. I was just playing footy.
Hard with travel though.
Yeah, terrible with travel. Good
Mate,
excuse as well.
You and me both. I wasn't a big rap for it, and see, we've both landed on our feet. Well, you have anyway. What are you going to study, Kyle? Or is it on the sort of on the back burner at the moment? Or
yeah, I reckon I'll probably look into like a business course or something like that.
Yeah.
If I do that, it still gives me, I suppose, a lot of stuff I can choose from in the future. So to get a good understanding of the background and all that kind of stuff, I think I'll probably look down those.
Do you try to have something outside of footy right now, just to sort of take your focus away from?
At the moment, not really, because I'm still trying to get my head around things and sort of figure out what's going on and making sure, or trying to get there on time too, I suppose. But
is it what you expected?
Being able to live with Josh and learn off, obviously when Dad was in the system, a lot's changed since then, but living with Josh and learning from him, yeah, I say it's probably what I expected. It's pretty demanding. So like at the moment, I'm cooked. I'm going to bed at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. So it's pretty full on. But in saying that, I'm loving it. It's good fun.
Premierships tend to run in the family. Do you reckon there might be one for you? At Melbourne?
Be nice.
Bloody oath it would be.
But
wouldn't it? Can we organise that?
Try and do.
Clary, how long did it take you to settle in at your first year coming in as a young 18-year-old?
Probably took me 12 months to settle in. Probably end of my first year. I was still it was a bit of a whirlwind. I was still probably just enjoying footy and didn't really see it as a job.
Is it important to have role models and blokes around the club that you look up to and follow?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, end of my first year, I got sat down, had a pretty stern chat with Macca, and he sort of pointed me in the right direction. That's when I was sort of look up to Billy Stretch, and I sort of followed him around for the whole of my second pre-season, and I did all that. So it's pretty important to have those players at the club and the coaches to point in the right direction. Good stuff.
A few more from the outer here. Going to whip through them. Leo. He asks, who has the worst tattoo out of all the players / coaches? Because I dare say there's a few coaches with ink. Or is there? Can't imagine Brendan McCartney has too many tattoos. But
No, I don't think so.
Who's probably Armsy?
No, I don't mind Harms. I like Harms. Yeah, good.
I don't know who's got the worst.
Levers is debatable.
Yeah, the one down there.
Yeah, you got a big
he's
lever
weird.
down the side.
yeah.
What are your thoughts on having your own name tattooed? I think Jonesy does it.
Yeah, you actually got like tramp stamp on the back.
Thinking about getting Oliver across your back
Oh,
or
I think
Dunkley?
I'm too white to ever get a tattoo. I think it's gonna.
So you
Gonna
both
do
clean
that.
skins?
Yeah. I couldn't, yeah. Imagine in 60 years' time, you
Yeah.
it'd be all wrinkly. Ugh.
Nah, looks silly.
Anything else there, Benny, that tickles your fancy
Well,
from
there's
the
an
outer?
interesting little discussion point. Would you rather have traffic lights that you approach turn green or never have to stand in line again throughout the rest of your life? Interesting little debate. Traffic
reckon never
lights
stand
turn
in
green.
line.
Standing in line for sure.
Yeah.
Traffic lights aren't that bad.
Have you been out the Peace intersection out here in Richmond? It's a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah,
It is terrible, but if you come in Swan
standing in
Street,
line's a lot worse.
if you come in Swan Street, you got to go that back way and come out and
Yeah, Swan Street's terrible these days.
because
They've made an
I don't know
absolute
what they've
mess of
done
it.
there.
Massive
This was a big topic early in the season, and
Massacred it.
they have. I
Made it
mean,
worse somehow.
seriously, how do you actually do that?
I don't know. It was fine.
Just
was
leave
It
it.
used to be 2 lanes.
Yeah, it was just
And
two
now it's
and
one.
then
It's
one
just
right.
like, oh,
All the
You
big
turn
issues.
now, something else. You can't turn right. You can't turn left.
One last one here from Annabelle. Just the best bromances. You'd be up there, wouldn't you, Clary? You got a few loves around the club.
As in me personally. Yeah, me and JJ pretty tight.
it's pretty cute that.
Yeah,
It is good.
Main track.
You've been known to dish out the occasional peck on the cheek as
Yeah,
well.
and I did that against Geelong. Gave Charlie Comes, one of Gussie's mates. Nice little kiss on the cheek. Yeah, it's all right. Just get around the boys.
Bit of love, share the love.
You seen any decent bromances?
Clary,
Yeah, Clary.
JJ is definitely the best one.
I think Nibber and Lever are pretty high up there. They're probably pushing up the top.
These two like getting the same brekkie. It's unreal.
A couple of funny ones. Someone asked, should I throw the captain on Oliver for SuperCoach this week?
Definitely not. Nah, keep it on Gorney.
How often do you get asked about SuperCoach?
A little bit, every now and again.
Is it the sort of thing that just really annoys you? You don't care at all about how many points
Don't-
you're scoring?
Yeah, no, I don't care. Someone asked me we're at a clinic the other day, and some guys walked up to me. He's like, "Oh, mate, like, what's happened this year? Like, you were so consistent last year on SuperCoach, and then this year,
So it's all about his
it's
SuperCoach.
terrible. Like, what's the go? Like, can you can't average them more? Like, you're not getting enough points for me." I'm like, "Mate, piss off. I don't care like what you're on about." Like, he's like, he's one of the teachers at school, and I was like, "Mate, like, sorry about your kids."
Very good. Hey, boys, let's straighten up one last time. Look towards the Blues. Clary, message to the red and blue faithful. They'd be frustrated like you are.
Oh, not too frustrated. We're obviously still positive, and we've still
Yeah.
got a lot of games left of the season, and we're still looking forward. But yeah, obviously Carlton, a couple of big wins in the last few weeks. They're playing pretty good footy, so not going to take them lightly. I don't think you can take any team lightly, and we'll bring our best, and we'll hopefully win.
Well, the fourth youngest team in the comp based on games experience last week. It's been a good opportunity to get some blokes like Harry Petty and Marty Hoare into the side. Have you liked seeing those guys stand up?
Yeah, it's been unbelievable. Yeah, we've got a lot of depth at Melbourne, so a couple of boys got injured, and you got people to replace them, and it's pretty. Yeah, they fit in very well.
And you've now played 74 games yourself. Are you feeling like a leader amongst the midfield group?
No, in our midfield group, we've got Vines, who's captain, Gorney's in leadership group, and so we sort of got, they're our leaders. But I just sort of do what I can. Like, yeah, I don't want to be too much of a leader. I just sort of try to lead by my actions. Probably not the most vocal person, so I sort of let Gorney and Vines do that, and Chunks sort of moved to the back line now. But yeah, they're the big leaders.
And Kyle, what would it mean if you were to get a nod back half of this season, senior footy?
I think, it'd be a lot of excitement behind it, but obviously trying to sort of put that aside and just get out there and do my job and hopefully play well would be the main thing. But yeah, it'd be pretty special if I did get the call up.
Well, we wish you all the best. great stuff getting to the Demons, and I can't imagine that, there'd be lots of excitement in the Dunkley family, wouldn't there, if you were to get that call up. Clary, as always, very entertaining, mate. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Good stuff, boys. And hey, Benny, as a fill-in, very impressive stuff.
Much better than Vines, much more valuable than Vines.
I think we'll welcome Jack back next week. And
he came well prepared.
He did.
Yeah.
More prepared than Vines.
Well, I'm not saying that. Maybe you are.
And hopefully Lily comes back from Europe.
Well, she's just on this incredible European sojourn, and I'm scared that she's going to stay.
Yeah, well, who knows where those two will be at in a couple of weeks' time.
All right, we'll find out. Well, it's always good to know that you're ready and
on
willing.
Standby.
Good stuff, Ben. And to all the Melbourne supporters out there, remember this weekend against the Blues, it is a replacement game. So get your bums on seats and support the boys. That was Inside Melbourne for another week. We'll catch you next week.